Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Billy with Food Service Pro. Just had a big event, and while it's fresh on my mind, just want to go through how I handle like a catering for a special event, not a wedding or something like that. That's very specific, but something that has a big crowd. A little over 400 is what we just did, and just talk about the anatomy of what it takes to get an event like that, pull it off, and then surprise book it again for the following year. So had a company come want to speak to us about doing the food for their event they were having, and requested a Zoom call. This has been a couple months ago, so this is planning that takes place prior. And one of the things they were looking for was to feed about 400 people, a little over actually, about 420, and they wanted to know what we could offer, what the pricing would be, all that stuff. Can we handle it? Can we seat them? And I said, well, absolutely no problem. Work on a menu and things like that for you. I said, but if you don't mind, I said, let's talk through your timeline or your itinerary or whatever you want to call it, program, and see, what exactly are you looking for. And so he pulls out on the Zoom call, pulls out his timeline, and I'm just looking through it, and one of the first things I look at is what they allot for time to have a meal. And his timeline was 6 p.m. Dinner and 7 p.m. for a guest speaker. And I love to do this to help, number one, calm their nerves, but also try and just help the whole situation, maybe speed up their program. So I asked him, I said, why are you looking at a full hour for dinner? He said, well, with that many people, it's going to take at least an hour for them to get through the line and eat. And I said, I'll be honest with you, I can have them through the line in 20 minutes and about 10 minutes, 15 minutes for them to eat. So if you wanted to speed your program up at all, we could do it there. And I always get this look of like, 20 minutes for that many people? I'm like, yeah, no, not a problem at all. And he was like, okay, well, if we change to 6:30 then for that speaker, that would definitely help us and get them out of here earlier. And here is tip number one for a special event and a client like this. I always, no matter what time they tell me they want to eat, my food is ready to go 20 minutes prior. And let me tell you why. Probably 7 out of 10 times I've done this on a special event, the nerves and the anxiety levels start to rise as you get closer to things like this. And so I always put a 20-minute and we're ready to go time in there, because they will always ask, can we go a little earlier? This is exactly what happened. So we had the food in 20 minutes early, and then everybody's lined up. I mean, it's just mounds of people lined at the door, and he looks at me and goes, any way we could do this a little earlier? I said, give me 30 seconds and then I'll open the doors. And he just kind of, 5:45, we open the door. At 6:02, last person's gone through the line. We're already tearing down from 3 buffets to 1. And we did 3 double-sided buffets, got them in, no problem. And so now at 6:15, they're waiting for the 6:30 guest speaker, and it just went phenomenal. And so I always hit them at that time after it's calmed down, the nerves are gone. I said, hey, are we doing this again next year, by chance? Or absolutely, this was phenomenal. And 48 hours later, I got an email confirming the date for next year. So not only did we pull off exactly what we said we were going to do, we did it great, and they've already rebooked for next year. I have pictures, I have some video for that event, but I've done 100 of these things, a lot more than that. And we'll just get more specific on those details, but while this was fresh, I wanted to go ahead and post something about that. So God bless, see you soon.